Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the Japanese B.LEAGUE and the Christmas Eve special between UTSUNOMIYA BREX and SHIMANE SUSANOO Magic. Well, coming into the season, you would have said that these are going to be two of the better teams with real possibilities of making it back to the playoffs and having another good season. So far, UTSUNOMIYA BREX 18-5, second in the East. And as you look over in the West, SHIMANE SUSANOO Magic, fourth place with a 13-10 record. Still some work to do. Long way to go. A lot of competition and plenty of time. But don't forget, they are chasing some good teams. And it's going to be a real battle. Just like yesterday's was 83-68. In fact, UTSUNOMIYA BREX trailed early on against SHIMANE, but came good in the end. Yusuke Endo and co. DJ Nubil coming out and having a big game. Grant Jarrett as well going up for the lob, the dunk. And the SHIMANE SUSANOO Magic giving it their best shot, but not able to come out and get the win. Hassan Martin hit that turnaround in the lane. And then you had BREX coming right back. Makoto Hiyajima continuing to come out and make big plays like he does. Finished with 12 points. And Jarrett with another thunderous dunk. He has been really turning it up a notch of late and blossoming into really one of the best players in the league. Certainly coming off the bench, I'm not sure there's a more potent force than Grant Jarrett. So BREX winning at 83-68. DJ Nubil with 18 points, leading 5 players in double figures. It was an impressive display. So the BREX, they've got quite a team, and you can see right there, Tabuse, Shike, Hiyajima, Yusuke Endo, Takeuchi, Takashima, Fotu, DJ Nubil, Watanabe, Murakishi, Ikaruga, Seiji Ikaruga, and of course Grant Jarrett. And we're looking at Yusuke Endo, who just continues to produce. He's had a good season. You know, not the type of numbers that really jump off the stat sheet in bright flashing red lights, but in those big moments of games, he's one of those players that is always leading this team. For the SUSANOO Magic, you've got Buford, Ando, Martin. As you can see right there, Nick Kay and Yika Williams. There's Ando, averaging 20.3 points, 3.6 assists, 3.8 rebounds, making sure his shooting hands are okay. The Australia International K. Shirahima, Kitagawa, Ahashi, Martin, Suyama, Wiley, Haruyama, and Taniguchi. 31 years of age, Ando at the, I would suggest, the peak of his career right now. And I think he's only getting better and better. And it's going to be interesting to see how they learn from yesterday. How do they come back and bounce back from that defeat? Here he is being introduced, the starting 5 for SHIMANE: Buford, Ando, K, Shirahama, and Williams. And Yika Williams, led by Coach Paul Henare, former New Zealand national team coach, national team player. And of course, when he was the New Zealand coach, he coached Isaac Fotu, the starting big man, number 42 for UTSUNOMIYA BREX. So he'll be going up against his former player today. Will BREX get the sweep? Won a couple of titles in the past several years, including 2 years ago in 2022. That was the latest. And right now they're trying to get back to the playoffs and to make another title run. And I think they've probably got as good a chance as anybody right now to win this title. Although you'd have to say Alvark Tokyo might be the favorites from the early going. Takashima, Shike, Watanabe, Murakishi, Seiji Karuga is going to get a lot of minutes, 5.4 points, 3 assists, 3.2 rebounds. And Grant Jarrett will play a lot of minutes. He averages about 23 minutes, 41 seconds, and along with that, 8.7 points, 7 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. But I think his numbers are going to go up. I would not be surprised if he's averaging double digits in scoring by the end of the year. And who knows, could end up averaging a double-double. We'll see. In terms of points and rebounds. Right now he's at 7 rebounds a game. So Norio Sasa, whose team struggled last season and did not come out and have the big year that everybody thought they would, coming off their title-winning campaign when they beat Ryukyu Golden Kings in the final. Did not even make the playoffs last season, but they've had some tweaks. They've added Nubil. They're going to have the starting lineup today of Isaac Fotu, and he wears number 42 because his name is Fotu. There's Kosuke Takeuchi, 38 years young. How would you like to be playing professional basketball at 38 years of age and in the starting lineup? DJ Nubil, Yusuke Endo, at 34 years of age, and Makoto Hiyajima, and Norio Sasa. So it is, as you can tell, a seasoned starting five. I'm not going to say old, I'll say veteran starting five. And the referees also coming out with the lights lowered. They will be calling the game today. So again, the starting fives: Fotu, Hijima, Takeuchi, Nubil, and Endo on the left for the BREX. And on the right, Ando and Shirahama, Williams, Kay, and Buford. Perrin Buford, just a do-it-all player. And it feels like, having watched this Susanoo Magic team this season, kind of the secret is out. The rest of the league, I don't want to say they caught them by surprise last season, but they seem to be coping better with what they have to offer this year. But I think overall the B-League is just better. And with that, every game is harder to win. So there's the Australian international Nick Kay, who, like Fotu, they both played at the FIBA Basketball World Cup this year, back in August and September. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Nikkan Arena Tochigi. This is the Japanese B.LEAGUE. We're underway. BREX coming off their win yesterday against SHIMANE, 83 to 68. And SHIMANE come right out, and Seiya Ando hits the three-pointer. Seiya Ando is just 2 of 11 from three-point range yesterday. So that's hopefully for SUSANOO Magic fans, and for Ando, that's a good sign that he's going to put it right today. But Yusuke Endo comes right out and answers with a three. There's the pass to K. K takes the bump. This is the third game for these teams in the past several days. BREX winning in midweek over Chiba Jets, one of their East Division rivals. And SHIMANE, free throw is good. SHIMANE fell to Saga Ballooners 80-77. And that was before losing yesterday to UTSUNOMIYA BREX. So they're trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. BREX, meanwhile, have won 5 out of their last 6 games. And the majority of their games have been wins of late. Yajima missing it from deep. Newbill on the ground, on the court, and the ball goes back to Ando. Now they get it to Endo again, and Endo gives it to Fotu, and he is fouled. Seven of BREX's 35 rebounds yesterday were on the offensive glass. They've already got a couple here today. And Fotu misses the first. Seiya Ando calls the play, gives it to K. Backs his way down. Buford misses off 1 foot from the edge of the paint. From the left corner, Takeuchi, the 38-year-old, stretch 5. And Buford comes down and misses from the top of the key. Good read there, almost getting an interception was Shirahama. Shirahama, one of the role players in this team, averaging 3.4 points, 2.6 assists. Yusuke Endo, and this time his three is not good from the wing. I'll say Ando puts it on the deck, and he gets to the line. And I like that approach more. Don't just settle for threes. Put the pressure on the defense. So Seiya Ando at the line. Makes just one of two. He's a part of that Japanese national team setup, Seiya Ando, but that is probably the most competitive spot in that team. There's so many good options for Coach Tom Hovass. So, was not in the World Cup squad. There's the dump down low to Fotu. And good block by Williams. Good defense. Seiya Ando pulls up on the break and misses. Hiroshima goes for the rebound. And it'll stay at this end. So again, remember, these two teams played yesterday. And maybe the legs a little bit tired. Maybe need a little bit of time to warm up. All batted out of bounds. It'll stay at this end with 13 on the shot clock. Buford complaining to the referee. I think that he says Newbill is pushing. He's definitely got his hands all over him. And Williams, great play. Williams and one. Well, Williams getting it done on the defensive end and then coming out and getting the offensive rebound and putback. And good things are happening when they're attacking the basket. I thought maybe Buford bit off more than he can chew on that one, but that's what you got to do. You got to send people to the glass and get rebounds. So Grant Jarrett is now going to check into the game. So two's coming out. Also, Ikaruga comes into the game. And Williams does indeed complete the three-point play. So, again, another promising start. Shimane leading it here early on. Jarrett trying to back up Buford. He gets blocked. Great defense by Buford. Buford to the corner. Ando for three. And the ball falls to Williams. He gets blocked. He passes it. Nick Kay wide open on the wing, and it takes rims out. Here's Williams again. And Williams this time cannot score the Takeuchi. Ikaruga takes it deep now back outside. DJ Newbill puts it up from three, goes down, and he's got 3 free throws. It feels like he and Buford are really going at it. And Buford needs to rein in. He wants to get the hand in the face, but he also to be aware that DJ Newbill is trying to draw the foul. That's what he's saying. He's saying Newbill kicks his leg out to ensure he gets contact, and that's why there was contact. So Newbill makes the first. Don't want to foul a jump shooter ever, and you don't want to foul the three-point shooter especially. So after one of the cardinal sins of basketball, fouling the jump shooter, all 3 free throws made. Williams again, right place, right time. I'm not sure that was a pass. Maybe it was. We'll see if they get an assist to Buford. Here's the drive, and once again, DJ Newbill getting to the line. And it looks a little fortunate to be getting to the line again. And once again, the foul is on Buford. So Buford not getting the benefit of the doubt. Taniguchi checks into the game for Shimane. Well, as they say, ball don't lie. That one stays out. So he makes one of two, and it's an 11-8 lead for the Susanoo Magic. Buford from deep, and now, and he is, an offensive foul has been called, and Newbill gets, well, he's holding his area. Watch his leg. And that fouled Taniguchi. This game is a little, getting a little nasty. I think we might see the head coach's challenge to see if that was an intentional hit to the region where it hurts. Nobody wants to get hit there, and let's see if there was some intent from Taniguchi. Watch number 55. Well, he definitely got him with his right hand, stuck it out. Now the question is there intent? I mean, people are kind of affording themselves a little chuckle over this, but when it happens to the player, it certainly doesn't feel good. And number 55, if it happens to him, he knows it wouldn't feel good either. So let's see if they call an unsportsmanlike. This could be a big call here early. So they decide it was not intentional. So Sasa loses his head coaching challenge. Seems like it would be out of character. But Sasa, I think, probably disagrees. Even if he were to look at it, he's probably going to trust his player. But definitely these two teams getting after each other. Some niggly things. That shot blocked. Grant Jarrett, though, gets the basketball, hands it off to Newbill. Buford. Three-point shot is good from Shirahama. Three-point shot. No good for Jarrett. And there is the block down low. I must have gotten something wrong earlier. I thought Ando had hit a three-pointer at the start of the game, but he hasn't been credited with it. Shirahama that hit the early three, so apologies for that. And so Shirahama is the man with a hot hand today. Shirahama taking it on the baseline. Jarrett grabs the ball. Fotu with the pick, and Ikaruga into the lane, puts it up and in. 4 points separate these two teams. Well, not only the pressure of trying to get wins to get to the playoffs is driving this Magic team, SUSANOO Magic. They also do not want to be swept here. You can see there's some feistiness. Another three-pointer, and that'll do just fine. This one from Tsuyama. Ikaruga missing, and this promising start. If they can get another bucket, another three, it'll be a 10-point lead. And wow, the big moment arrived, and Shirahama put up an air ball. He had made his first two threes. Seiji Ikaruga gets it to Takashima, now to Fotu. Hassan Martin in the game wearing number 12, guarding Fotu. And the block called a foul, so Shirahama trying to cut off the path to the basket, whistled for the foul on Hijima. So 2 free throws coming for Makoto Hijima. Had a big game in midweek. Also played well yesterday. Say Ando back in. Hijima averaging 12.5 points per game. Misses the first one. Played at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in Okinawa this summer. Did Hijima, and did his part in helping Japan qualify for the Olympics. Averaged 9.4 points per game. Shot better than 57% from three-point range as well. There's Buford staying with it. Martin as well. And here comes BREX. Pushing it quickly. Hijima crosses midcourt. There's Jarrett powering his way up, and Taniguchi whistled for the foul. Taniguchi thought he was playing good defense, but Jarrett gets back to the free throw line. BREX 6 of 9 so far at the free throw line. Gosh knows, well short. And Jarrett makes the second. So 19-14, Shimane still on top, nearly 9 minutes into the game. Buford, his pass to Martin deflected, intercepted, and it leads to a great hustle down the court from Buford to get the block. Takashima thought he had a layup. This is why you don't give up on plays. Look at this. So the deflection by Jarrett. Ikaruga passes it up to Takashima, who thinks he's going to have a layup, and Perrin Buford has other ideas. 52.8 seconds to go in this first quarter. Slow start offensively for Buford, and Hijima misses another one. But if there's offensive rebounds, that'll kill you. Here goes Hijima again, driving in, and this time makes it. Finishes with the left hand. Seiya Ando steps back, high arcing three, long rebound to the Magic. Seiya Ando again, still can't get the drop, and Nick K is fouled. So looks like it was on Fotu. I don't understand how Fotu fouls in that situation. He had inside position. The referee must have thought he had pushed somehow. There's the drive, and Seiya Ando missing again. So rough start for Seiya Ando. Final seconds ticking off the clock in the first quarter. Hijima waltzes right in for the layup. That's going to get the blood boiling. Wow, he stepped over the line before the clock. That was a bad mistake by Seiya Ando. What was he thinking about? Well, you could hear the frustration clearly from Paul Henare, thinking that they're not blowing the whistle when Shimane drive into the paint and attempt layups. He's claiming that that the BREX are the team that are getting all the calls when they drive. BREX are 7 of 11 from the free throw line, and Shimane SUSANOO Magic are 4 of 5. 6 fouls have been called on Shimane, and so far 4 fouls have been called on BREX. So Shimane leading 19-18. But if you go back and you look at that last situation, Seiya Ando was going to inbound the basketball, and he saw that the clock was about to expire, and instead of inbounding the basketball and trying to rush it up the floor to get a shot, he just started walking over towards the bench. He crossed over the line before the buzzer, and really the whistle should have blown, and the ball should have been given to BREX. And that's why they came out complaining, and they were absolutely right. That was a obvious violation. I mean, yeah, clearly he wasn't under pressure, and he just did it because the quarter was about to end, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't an infraction. So they're lucky that they didn't turn the basketball over there. There's Jarrett reaching in, knocking it away. And good anticipation, though, from Seiya Ando. Gets it right back. And now he is fouled. So maybe... oh, no, he's not fouled. So further frustration for Henare and Shimane. BREX can take the lead here. Jarrett over to Endo. Takeuchi back to Hijima. Wide open. There definitely seems to be a little bit of bad blood between these two teams. Just the feistiness. The competitive juices are flowing, and there's Nick K. Well, it has been a while since they've scored. They've been stuck on 19 points, Shimane, for some time. There's the dump, and into the lead. Takeuchi puts BREX on top, and Paul Hanari has to call timeout. So they did not score. As you look at this last play here, Shimane SUSANOO Magic did not score a point over the last 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Their last bucket was a three from Tsuyama with 2:43 to go in the first quarter. Well, Newbill's the player that's attempted the most free throws. He's 4 of 5 today, so he's definitely getting the calls. Definitely looked like they called a foul once on Buford when he went down and was called for a foul on Newbill. I think Newbill made 1 of 2 where it looked a little dubious to me. But these things even out, and as a coach, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get some calls to go your way, so you can't blame Hanari for arguing. There's a turnover, though. That's the bigger issue. You can't turn it over so cheaply, and a wide open layup for DJ Newbill. That's about as easy as they come. So they've gone more than 4 minutes without a bucket, without a point. Shimane. Son Martin fouled by Jarrett. That's his first. Say Ando inbounds the basketball. Ando's still with just 1 point. Buford back in the game. Passes back to K. Wide open. Finally stops the rot. Nick K ties it with a three-pointer from the wing. Iajima leans in, misses, and Takeuchi putting the pressure on Williams, but Shimane able to get the basketball. Here's Nick K, spins, pump fake. How about that? A little bit of old school from Nick K. He follows up his three-pointer with a good patient move down low, good footwork, spinning to his left. And just like that, the SUSANOO Magic are back in front. Look at that. He fakes that way, goes back, and with a little, I guess you'd call that a little hook shot. So 24-22, the SUSANOO Magic back on top. Shimane 13-10 coming into this game. 4th place in the West. UTSUNOMIYA BREX 18-5. 2 games behind Alvark Tokyo in the East. Alvark Tokyo with a 20-3 record. And just chalking up the wins. One win right after another. Alvark winning 83-68 yesterday against the Diamond Dolphins of Nagoya. And those two teams trading blows again today. Interestingly, Nagoya Diamond Dolphins up big in that game today, so they're bouncing back. Let's see if SHIMANE SUSANOO Magic can continue to bounce back today. Endo drives, misses. I'll say Endo. Here's the lob. How about that? Going up for the flush. Lob City. And Perrin Buford, the 29-year-old, skies for the bucket. And back to a 4-point lead. So Nick Kay starting to get involved with his scoring and his passing. And Williams has been really good today. He's really battled in there. 6 rebounds to go with his 5 points. Haruyama also in the game now, number 32. And Ando misses another one. And DJ Newbill gets the contact. And Nick Kay goes down. Watch this. Yep, that's a good call. He was sliding into him. So Nick Kay picks up his first foul, and in the grand scheme of things, that is not a bad foul at all. Be a little bit disruptive. No free throws. You're not in foul trouble. Shirahama back in the game. He's 2 of 3 from deep. His one miss was an air ball. They'll be looking for some contributions from him. Here's Endo from deep. Oh, look at that, the long rebound. Back to Endo. Misses again. Williams battling. And Fotu and Takeuchi putting the pressure on Williams. He couldn't get the rebound. Remember, BREX winning yesterday's game by 15 points. Williams this time knocking the ball away. Fotu hands it off to Newbill. Gets the layup. And the problem with Buford there is that he's already got 2 fouls, so he's not really going to go up and challenge it the way he would ordinarily, I think. And now Fotu takes it away from Kay. And Kay, first of all, lucky that he didn't turn it over, and secondly, that they didn't call a foul on him. Watch this. So Endo kind of bumps into him, so he takes it, and he was very close to pushing Fotu. And Fotu goes down. A little tall black boomers battle within the game. Buford drives in, forces his way in despite being guarded by Takeuchi, and stretches the lead. Newbill again. Leans in and scores. Holding his left shoulder. Well, he's got some tape on there, so obviously he's got an issue. But Newbill's been playing big today. Here he is guarding Buford. Little turnaround from Buford. I'd much rather see Buford going to the basket rather than fading, because he's not going to get a foul called on Newbill in that way. Here's Takeuchi, and the 38-year-old drives, misses the shot, but look at Fotu getting in there, getting the rebound. Fotu's been outstanding his work on the boards. Watanabe flexing the gun show, appreciating the effort from Fotu. Here it is again. Takeuchi drives, misses, but Fotu gets in there, gets the rebound, puts it back up and in. So 3 points for Fotu, 12 for Newbill. He's leading the way. Hijima with 5 and Endo with 3. He hit the early 3. Takeuchi has 2 points. So far, Grant Jarrett hasn't gotten off. He's only got 1 point. And for the Susanoo Magic, Shimane, it's Nick K's 9 points leading the way. Shirahama has the 2 threes. Williams with 5. Buford 4. And it's Yama, that 1 3-pointer. Seiya Ando just hasn't gotten anything going. He's 0 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 5 from 3-point range. He was 2 of 11 from 3-point range yesterday. Shimane have so far not scored any points off of there were only 2 turnovers for BREX. BREX, meanwhile, scored 6 points off of the 5 turnovers by Shimane. Shimane have led by as many as 7 points. Biggest lead for BREX so far has been 3. Here's Buford. Gets it to Williams. And they are going to count it. Or are they calling the... Williams has been a pleasant surprise. He's been almost an X factor today. Endo sliding in. His first foul. So Williams with 7 points, 6 rebounds, now 8 points. And doing what he needs to do, and that is clean up the mess. We're talking about second chance points, 9 for BREX, and now 8 for Shimane. There is Endo. In fact, no, they've got 5. That was not second chance points. So back to a 1-point game. DJ Newbill called for the foul. Look at this. Wow, that's a clear foul, Newbill. Got no ball, and he hit Buford on the side. And that's... When you have a player make a complaint like that, and you see the referees constantly badgered by the coaches and the players, you realize how difficult their job is. Players are trying to get anything they can get, even when they know it's a good call. Here's K. Wanted to make the backdoor pass, but Ando didn't go. Here's Ando drifting in, and Williams once again keeping it alive. But Newbill comes up with the basketball. Seiya Ando having a nightmare today. Newbill steps back. It's a 2 if it drops, and it does. $14 points for Newbill, but K answers quickly. 11 for him. Nick K trying to show the way for Shimane. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. foul as Takeuchi goes down. And if that's on Buford, that is number 3. Well, that's pretty weak. 3rd foul on Buford. Hassan Martin comes in. So it takes away one of the primary ball handlers. Iijima all the way in. And 2 free throws coming for the Japan International. Well, that looked like a gift as well. And that's why Hinari gets upset, because he sees a couple of 50-50 calls go against him at this end of the court. It's understandable. Iijima gets both to drop. So Shimane, Buford on the bench with 3 fouls. Seiya Ando not able to get the ball to drop today. Nick Kay's carrying the team, and Williams. Here's the dump, and Martin gets blocked by Jarrett. Suyama guarding the ball. Now they switch. Martin goes back down on Jarrett and is able to knock the ball away. Shirahama back to Kay. Here's Seiya Ando. And Seiya Ando has the shot blocked. And once again, Hinari asking for a foul. No foul there. Eight seconds on the shot clock. Suyama puts it up from deep. Good rebound. Martin, no, he has it taken away. Now BREX off and running. Pass back to Jarrett. Out to Newbill for 3. He misses. Now Kay has it. Game getting a little bit chaotic. And finally, Seiya Ando gets something to drop. His first bucket of the game. So Shimane move in front. Here's the lob, and it was over Jarrett. They had it. Seiya Ando with the layup, 2 in a row for him, and Norio Sasa has to call timeout. And you can see the smile on the face of Ando, because finally he's had some success, which had eluded him for the first 18 minutes of this game. Suyama passing to him, and Ikaruga, not sure what he was doing defensively there on Ando. He hasn't made a shot all day, and he just goes out and allows him to go right past him for a layup. 37-34. Susanoo Magic back on top. So final 45 seconds of the first half underway. Hijima for three, nope. And Martin goes up and gets a big rebound. A chance now for a little bit more SUSANOO magic. Chance for them to extend their lead. They want to go to halftime leading by at least 3 points. They don't want to allow BREX to come back and tie it. And now they've turned it over. Suyama, his pass into the hands of Ikaruga. So now the last shot of the half will belong to BREX. Hijima, you know he's going to drive. Passes it to Newbill for three. So it is indeed a 3-point lead at halftime for Shimane SUSANOO Magic. Perrin Buford has 3 fouls, but they've got their noses in front here at the break. 37-34. Shimane Susanoo Magic on top at halftime. Here's a look back at the first half highlights. Endo came out and stroked an early three-pointer in response to the opening three by Shirohama. Williams has been very active for the Susanoo Magic. Perrin Buford, as always, very influential. Missing there, but Williams with the offensive rebound and putback. And this was good sharing of the basketball there. Ikaruga driving in and scoring. Buford passing it outside. And another bucket for this one for Suyama. Hijima gets involved. Then you had Newbill again. Takeuchi, still productive. And then the turnover. And Newbill capitalizes with a layup. Nick Kay then came to life. He hit the three. And right after that, he scored down low. And that was his lob to Buford. And Shimane come back to take a three-point lead at halftime. Sei Ando also finally getting a couple of layups to go. And they'll be hoping that he can be a little bit more influential right down the stretch. So here are the numbers. BREX with just 1-3 so far. You know that's going to change. They're not going to finish shooting 7.1%. Rebounding pretty even. And just overall a very competitive game right now. And you can see Shimane not getting as many free throw attempts, which was getting under the skin of Coach Shinari, and we'll see if that changes in the second half. Points in the paint, 20 for Shimane, 18 for BREX. Scoring leaders, Newbill 14, 7 for Hijima, 5 for Endo, 3 for Fotu. And it's Jarrett with 7 rebounds, Takeuchi a couple, Ikaruga, Newbill, and Fotu all with 2. 11 points for Kay leading the way. Williams has been really good today, 8 points. And Williams also with 6 rebounds leading in that category. Remember, Buford has 3 fouls. Just 3 bench points for each, 3 points from the bench for each team. Second half underway. Three-point lead for Shimane. This game being played in the Nikon Arena, Tochigi. And the pass batted out of bounds by Shirahama, just 2.2 seconds on the shot clock. Newbill gets it. He's going to put it up. And he's going to make it right at the end of the shot clock. 16 points for DJ Newbill. Buford gets it to the corner, and that three-pointer by Shirahama, his third of the game. Iijima. Newbill again, late in the shot clock. Shirahama trying to stick with Newbill. And the long rebound to Iijima. He gets it over to Endo. Iijima hits the three, and that is, again, right after the offensive rebound. But you get a lot of offensive rebounds off those missed three-pointers. Or you often get them. Seiya Ando, 6 on the shot clock, gets it to Shirahama, and the reach and the foul on Endo. Well, it looked like he got all ball that time. So Shirahama comes out and has a big game so far, averaging 6 points a game already in double digits. Newbill, his pass intended for Fotu. Shirahama playing some good defense, forcing the turnover. So the ball ended up going off Fotu's hands. So here's Buford. Will it continue to be the unheralded players that lead this team? Here's Ando. His struggles really continue. He's only made layups today. Iijima gets blocked by Williams. You can make a case that Williams has been the MVP of this game. He's definitely been the X factor, even as a starter. Fotu gets it to Endo. Back outside, and Iijima walked. Shimane tried to strike quickly. Ando has it knocked out of his hands, and indeed, they do turn it over. So, Newbill. And now they turn it over and give it right back. Trying to play fast, both teams, leads to turnovers. 3 minutes into the second half. Still 3-point lead for Shimane. Can they get any separation? Buford back to K. Ando. Kay hustles to the basketball. Ando missing again. Another chance. This time Kay to Williams. Williams to the corner. Ando for three. And just cannot buy a bucket right now. Wow. Having a nightmare. He's getting shots that's what they would pay for. Takeuchi misses. This triggers a break. Seiya Ando goes right in. But in too much of a rush. I think he needs to sit down, really. Here's Endo. And now he misses. And boy, it's gotten sloppy and ugly. And I think Endo's going to come out. Here goes Kay. Kay spins, turns. Williams once again crashing the boards. And the foul called on BREX. Great work, Williams. So that was the push on Hiyajima. So Suyama comes back into the game. And Seiya Ando sits down. Ando just 2 of 15 from the floor. Good job on the boards, and Buford comes down with the basketball. Here's Buford driving in, and he's fouled. And that's the type of call that Paul Henare was looking for, appealing for, arguing for in the first half. And that's a great call. Easy call, I might add. DJ Newbill with a clear foul. Clear foul. And Buford does indeed get both free throws to take the lead up to 5. Remember, a 15-point win for BREX yesterday between these two teams. And Shimane right now on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So they need wins. If the season ended today, BREX would be in the playoffs. Takeuchi catches it in traffic. They get it to Jarrett. He goes up for the two-handed rim jammer. DJ Newbill really putting the pressure on the referees to make calls. Here's Nick K. And Takeuchi with the board. Up to Newbill. Ikaruga has it. Ikaruga dribbling in traffic. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Takeuchi had to put up a difficult shot, and with the shot clock violation, because he didn't hit the rim, the ball goes back over to Shimane, and perhaps Buford, a little fortunate not to get called for the foul. He was definitely kind of pushing into Takeuchi as he went up for that hook shot. Oh, what a play by Buford. Looked like he was going to go behind the back with the pass and ended up keeping the basketball and went in and scored. 8 points for Perrin Buford, along with his 8 rebounds and 7 assists. Jarrett answers with a 3, and now it's a 2-point game. Boy, dangerous dribbling for Buford. Here's Kay. Siyama behind the arc. He's got it. He puts it up, and that's off. Air ball, but look at that. Nick Kay picked it up. Should have made that reverse layup. Just kind of flicked it up there and was well short. Jarrett misses. He was looking for a foul, doesn't get it. And this time, Takashima whistled for the foul. Another look, Nick Kay. Yes, that's easily a foul. Taniguchi back in the game. Here's Nick Kay. Misses the first. So they called it unsportsmanlike. Wow. I'm not sure I would have. Oh, no, they did not call it unsportsmanlike. They just weren't on the line for the first free throw. Okay, takes it back to a 3-point lead. 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Hassan Martin back in the game. He didn't score in the first half, did have a couple of rebounds. Ikaruga drives. Battle for the rebound. Hiroshima gets it over to Suyama. Oh, tried to get it. What was Suyama doing? Trying to give Martin the basketball there in that position. And leads to the layup. Sometimes you got to know who you're passing the ball to. And if Suyama has that back, he's not trying to give the ball to Martin at the line as they're attacking. Watch Suyama. You don't want to give the ball to Martin there. What's he going to do with it? And he's not a ball handler. And it leads to points off turnovers for Isaac Fotu. So back to live play after the timeout. 1 point lead for Shimane. Buford, guarded by Ikaruga. The double team comes. He's able to get rid of it. Suyama for 3. And Martin not able to corral the rebound. It goes out of bounds. Under 2 minutes to go here now in the third quarter, and a chance for BREX to go back in front. Ando coming back into the game at the next dead ball for Shimane. And Jarrett goes in for the layup. Took it right at Taniguchi. Well, Perrin Buford has to win this matchup. Turns it over. They're definitely making it difficult for him. And Suyama whistled for the foul. So he goes back out and Ando comes back in. Seiya Ando just 2 of 15 from the floor. He's 0 for 7 from three-point range. Iijima has been relatively quiet. Here he goes. Spins, drives. And the ball will stay at this end. A new 14. Well, I say he's been relatively quiet. He's got 10 points. So I guess not really. Ikaruga inbounds it to Jarrett. Another chance for BREX. 3-point shot. Good! Takashima gives BREX their biggest lead of the game, 4 points. Ando. Ando picks up the long rebound. Taniguchi shovels it over to Buford. Buford going right at Ikaruga. Steps and knocks down a 3. That was a quality 3. Goodness me. Final seconds ticking off the clock here in the quarter. Fotu has it and he's fouled by Taniguchi. 2.9 seconds on the shot clock. On the game clock, rather. So free throws for Isaac Fotu. 3 fouls on Taniguchi. Murakishi checks into the game here for the final seconds of this quarter. Fotu now with 6 points, 5 rebounds. Also has a block. .9 seconds. You got to get up the floor quickly. Here goes Ando. Gets it off in time, and it goes over the backboard. That's a big 3 that was made by Utsunomiya's Takashima, and they lead it 53-50 with 10 minutes remaining. So back to live action here, the start of the fourth quarter. And they want to have a look at it. Telling the coach to come out with a challenge.
I'm going to be frustrated.
So if he wins this challenge, he's going to be frustrated because he's going to say the referee should have got it right in the first place. Looked like Buford might have been fouled there. So he does indeed win the challenge. But every possession important at this stage, and at least if you're successful in your challenge, then it's worth taking it. And this time Buford fouled. So he will go to the line. Takashima with the foul. Here's Buford. Had the foul trouble in the first half. Doesn't seem like he's been as influential in the game today, but then when you look at his numbers, he has been very influential. Closing in on probably a triple-double today. Got 7 assists to go with his 8 rebounds and now 13 points. So he could very easily get a triple-double. I think it's just because it's been a real struggle to get anything for anybody in this game. Ando guarding Ikaruga. Jarrett open and misses the 3. Well, it looked like it went off Fotu's hands. And now you can hear Hinari because they've changed the call. And he's like telling the referee, now you want to communicate and change the call? That's a tough break. Jarrett goes in and misses. Wow. That was a great opportunity for BREX. But I think justice prevailed on that one. Ando for 3. Finally! Stops the rot. First three-pointer of the game. He had missed his first 8 threes, and now he's made one to put his team back in front. I mean, it stands to reason one of them is going to drop eventually. 55-53, Shimane on top, 9 minutes remaining. Well, it has been a struggle, really, for both teams today. It's been a physical game. The defenses have really gotten after each other. Hasn't been easy. And Shimane now back in front, having trailed by 4. Newville back in the game. That's probably the big thing because he is the main creator. Here he goes. Launches it, and Buford skies for the rebound. Here's Buford keeping that low dribble and getting it up. And he goes down hard. Williams does anyway. And he is in pain. Watch what happens here. He was just kind of boxed out a little bit by Fotu, and then he landed awkwardly, so he's going to stay in the game. Hyejima. Is it Hyejima time? Is it Newville time? Those are the two prime candidates, and Fotu not able to catch it. It goes out of bounds with 4.8 seconds remaining. UTSUNOMIYA BREX, second place in the East. Here's Indo for 3. And it's just like we said at the start of the game. He doesn't score a bunch of points, but the points that he scores tend to come in big situations. Okay, had the 3. They defer to Ando, who's hit his last 3. Now he drives in and misses the layup. I think if K had to do it all over again, he might have shot that ball. Ball deflected, and good job coming around getting the steal. And Buford hands it off to K, who goes up and scores. Fotu. Bounce pass to Indo. Another 3 for him. Yes, he does. 2 in a row for Yusuke Indo. Now Buford. Nick K this time doesn't hesitate. And he misses. Takeuchi brings it down. 6:40 remaining. And you feel like BREX can play better than they have all game. And we've just seen on their last 2 trips, Indo knocking down 3s, or the last 2 makes. Here he is passing it to Takeuchi, and it goes through his hands. Looked like it was a good pass. Takeuchi should have corralled that. Yeah, he says that was my bad. I should have had it. So you've got really in the game right now Indo, Ikaruga for BREX, Newville, and Fotu. Those are all players, especially Newville, Ikaruga, and Indo, that can make big plays. Here, oh. What a play. K missed the layup after it looked like he might have gotten away with a foul. And then Williams, like he has done all day, comes in for an offensive rebound and putback. Ten points for Williams, and now here's Buford on the break, goes up for the dunk. Wow, what a turnaround. Ikaruga. He should have made that, and now Shirahama is fouled by Ikaruga. So the first foul on Ikaruga, And again, Shimane back on top with 5.5 minutes remaining. This game has lived up to the hype. It has been tense, physical. Buford drives in, and the foul called on Newbill. Well, we've seen him complain before when he's made clear fouls. Let's see if this one might be a little bit better defense. Well, as they say, ball don't lie. Buford misses the first. And makes the second. So 1 of 2. And 3 points, the difference. Buford 15 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. We'll definitely get a double-double. Here he is trying to deny the ball to Newbill. He does. He comes up with a steal. And he goes in for another dunk. He is fired up. He and Newbill have been jawing at each other from the beginning of the game to the end. And now a 5-point lead for the SUSANOO Magic. And here he is again making a great play, another steal. And he has taken over the game. 3-point shot. Shirahama. Well, he didn't have to take that, but I guess he felt like he needed to take it. Endo puts it up. It's a 2 if it drops. It doesn't. Fotu keeps it alive. Nowhere to turn. He dribbles. Now he turns it over. Here's K on the break, and I think he's wisely going to hold up. Ooh, I don't know about that shot. Well, why not? Seiya Ando, his second three-pointer of the game. Wow. He struggled for 3 quarters, and in the fourth, he's made a couple of threes. And you really got to like Shimane's chances now. Well, Fotu, you can't blame him. He was trying to dribble out of trouble there. He was on the baseline, but Shimane alertly reached in and took the ball away, and then Buford found Seiya Ando, who knocked down the corner 3. 67-59. Buford with 18 points, clearly the player of the game. K with 14, Ando now with 11, Shirahama with 11, and Williams. If it's not Buford, for my money, it's Williams is the player of the game for how well he has played from start to finish, doing things he needs to do to give them a chance to win, and that is crashing the offensive glass and putting the ball up and in. DJ Newbill just 16 points, 11 for Endo. Hijima has 10, Jarrett 8, Fotu 7. I expected more from Jarrett today. Newbill has 3 fouls. A bunch of players on 2 fouls, 3 fouls for Tsuyama. For Shimane, 3 fouls on Buford. He had those in the first half, and 3 fouls on Taniguchi. So Buford has been able to play in foul trouble. He's got the 18 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals. He got an assist on that last pass to Ando. Seiya Ando. Seiya Ando now 2 of 11 from 3-point range. So it's still not a good percentage, but at least it's gone up a little bit. Ikaruga to Jarrett. Goes up against Williams. His bounce pass. And call foul on Williams. Seems a little delayed. 3:40 remaining. Still time. And that 3 is no good. And now Shimane should be in no rush. Take time off the clock. You don't need to make your move to the basket until about 8 seconds on the shot clock. Say Ando. A little high arcing runner. He gets it back. A new 14. Here's K. Remember, BREX won this meeting yesterday by 15 points. This would be a huge win for SHIMANE. K again knocks it out. And a new 14. More importantly than anything right now, they're taking time off the clock. Buford has it knocked out of his hands. .1 seconds on the shot clock. Well, maybe he'll get an assist here, Buford. K puts it up from the elbow and stretches the lead to 10 points. Now the three for Endo. He misses, and this is looking very promising now for SHIMANE, who again on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. Desperately needing to get at least a split and to go into Christmas on the back of a win to get the feel-good factor back. Here's Newbill. Ikaruga. Oh, passed up a potential layup to get it to Newbill for the three. And with 2 minutes remaining, I don't think you have to be looking for the threes yet, but Ikaruga definitely passed up a layup. Buford. Williams. Well, tip your hat to Williams. Tip your hat to Buford, who has his double-double in assists. He just needs one more rebound, and he's got a triple-double. Somebody needs to tell him that during the timeout. And I believe he's got 11 assists now. 18 points. 18 points. Well, right now, I'm seeing 18 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. Yeah, so Buford does have 11 assists to go with his 18 points, and he needs one. No, now also he's been given another rebound, so he does have his triple-double. Perrin Buford, can't argue, as good as Williams has been today with 12 points and 9 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds with the putbacks. I mean, for my money, Williams was the most important player in that first half, and Buford's been the most important clearly in the fourth quarter. And probably overall in the second half and in the game. And it's hard to argue with a triple-double, but more importantly than anything for SHIMANE is that they've got their noses in front, and now they've stretched their lead to its biggest of the game, 12 points with 1:52 remaining. And coming into this game and desperately needing a win after their 15-point defeat. They will improve to 14-10 if they can hold on and get the win, which I fully expect them to do now after that miss. And the BREX are going to drop to 18-6. Here's Nick K for 3. That's good. Now they're up by 15. So how about that? What if we end up with a pair of 15-point wins, one for each team? And that'll just show you how balanced this B-League is. Certainly up at the top. Basketball is a game of runs, and they're on a run right now. Nice give and go. And Williams fouled. Smart play by Newbill. Turning that pass into an alley-oop so he can get to the free throw line. Look at this. Oh, they get a chance for potentially a 4-point trip down the floor, but Newville misses the three. Here's Williams on the break, or Buford rather, and he goes up and is fouled by Hijima. Shimane 45 rebounds, 38 for the BREX. I mean, their rebounding has been, it's answered the call today. They were out-rebounded yesterday 35-30, so that has been a big change. And Buford gets both to drop. 20 points for Perrin Buford, along with his 10 rebounds and 11 assists. Up and down, traveling. 25.8 seconds remaining. 14 second chance points for Shimane. They've now scored 13 points off turnovers. So they're better in that category. 11 for the home team. And Buford a little bit short this time. And really it was important, despite the struggles for Seiya Ando, that he was able to hit those shots, hit a couple of threes, a couple of layups. And that's going to be it. Another rebound for Buford. And a whale of a game. That man has earned his Christmas dinner, that's for sure. Shimane Susanoo Magic winning it 76-60. Paul Henare getting a win that is huge for his team going into the break. Seiya Ando, hearing the congratulations. 76-60. Shimane win it over UTSUNOMIYA BREX to gain a split in these two games. And look at that fourth quarter, 26-7. They outscored UTSUNOMIYA BREX. Talk about being against the run of play. That was definitely, and Williams just really was a warhorse today. His coach is going to be happy with what he was able to do. You get the solid play from Nick Kay once again. Feel like they got to get Hassan Martin more in the flow. They got to figure out how to get him more involved in this. And you just wonder if it's the adjustment to the B-League. And Seiya Ando right now, clearly not shooting the basketball well, but he shot it well enough today to help the team win. So these are the next two games coming up for these two teams. Shinshu Brave Warriors will be the next opponents for UTSUNOMIYA BREX. That'll be on the road. And for Shimane, they're going to be up against Osaka. Yuta Tabuse walks off the court. Didn't get in the game today. So Osaka Vessel will be the next opponents for Shimane, Susanoo Magic, and that will be back. Shimane will be at home for that game. And the BREX players say thank you to the fans for coming out today on Christmas Eve to support the team. Santa Claus leading the way. Well, you can't win them all, and BREX, this is just a little bit of a reminder that it's never easy, and you know, these teams is they scrap, and that's the best way to put it, scrap to get into those playoff spots. That's what the SUSANOO Magic are doing right now. They're trying to get themselves into position to get back into the playoffs. Because they came into today behind the defending champions Ryukyu Golden Kings in first place, 17-6, Nagoya Diamond Dolphins at 15-8, and Nagasaki Veruca at 13-10. Here's Paul Hanari. Let's listen in.
バウンスバックしましたけれども、このゲームの感想をまずお願いします。
Yeah, he said so against this strong UTSUNOMIYA team, we were able to finish 1-1, and then we bounced back from yesterday. How did you feel about the game today? I mean, it was tough. Obviously, we only break the game open until the very end. It was an up and down battle against a very good team, but defensively, we were able to hold them to 7 points in the last quarter, and that's what won us the game.
はい、非常に強い宇都宮さんなんですけれども、序盤はずっと拮抗した状態で、最後はなんとか勝ち切ることができて、で4クォーターで7点に抑えることもできたので、それが勝った要因の一つなのかなというふうに思ってます。
はい、コーチも昨日のコメントで、ディフェンス面の改善も必要だというふうにおっしゃっていて、今おっしゃったように第4クォーターのディフェンスも見事でしたし、ブレックスを60点に抑えるという結果になりました。ディフェンス面での改善された部分であったりとか、良かったところ、どのように思ってますか？
He said so yesterday after the game, you talked about us having to do a better job defensively. And through the course of this game today, we held them to 60 points. What are some of the adjustments that we made defensively?
Not too many adjustments, just the commitment to try and play every possession to the end of the shot clock. And it wasn't perfect today. We got lucky on a couple. They missed some open shots. But, at the end of the day, we got it done. We rebounded well. We had 20 offensive rebounds. So winning the possession game is always huge here.
はい、これといった修正点はなかったんですけれども、選手たちには、ショットクロックの最後まで守りきること、これをするようにというお話をしました。でもちろんディフェンスの方も完璧ではなかったんですけれども、オフェンスリバウンドも20個取ることもできましたし、で最後守りきれたのかなというふうには思ってます。
はい、あとは今日ペリン・ビュフォード選手が、トリプルダブルですかね、速報値でいうとの活躍、それから安藤選手、それからニック・ケイ選手、白浜選手と2桁、ウィリアムス選手もですね、多くの選手が2桁得点を挙げました。オフェンスに関してはどのように評価されますか？
He just said so today P finished with a triple double. Then he had Nick K, Seiya Ando, then even Hama was in double figures along with Nika today. Do you think that was big?
I mean, we rely on contributions from across the board. We had to deal with a bit of foul trouble with Perrin in the first half. But thankfully we were able to play him all of the second half. And, he just did a good job at directing, and, screeners did a good job of getting him open, and guys got to knock down open shots. And we didn't do that yesterday, and thankfully...
ありまして、かなり厳しい状況だったと思うんですけれども、今日の勝利で一息つけたと思うんですが、チームの雰囲気などはいかがでしょうか？
Yeah, he just said so. We've had numerous games where we had to play away games, and then we also lost a couple of games in a row too. But out of that, we were able to get this victory. How does that feel?
It feels great. I feel like we've been struggling a little bit from the beginning of the season. We've missed a couple of players earlier on in the season with injuries and stuff like that. But just trying to get the chemistry with the newer players and everybody, just getting everything set together. But we're staying tight, we're staying strong. So I'm just looking forward to the next year.
はい、でまず勝利することができて大変嬉しく思っております。でチームとしましては開幕をしてからですね、負傷者も多かったですし、でそれと新しい新加入の選手たちと一緒に慣れることも必要だったので、苦しかったんですけれども、今なんとかみんな団結をしながらシーズンつなげることができてますし、勝利を上げることもできてます。なのでこの新年ですね、楽しみにしております。
はい、今日はアウェーにもかかわらず ね、遠くから島根から、ファンの方もこの後ろにね、来られてますし、画面越しに応援している方もいらっしゃいます。次は、年末ホームゲームになりますので、ファンの方にメッセージをお願いします。
Yeah, he just said so. Behind us, we had a lot of Shimane fans come to our game, and also there's a lot of fans that's watching on the screen right now. And our next home game is going to be the end of the year. It's going to be at the New Year's season. So if you have a message for them.
I just really appreciate all the support that they always give, and it's endless. Support is always endless, and I really appreciate that. It's really great when you're here away out of our natural environment, and we have that little chair and that little extra to give us over the humps. Like when we have hard times, you just need that sometimes, and it really helps. So always appreciative of that.
はい、本当にいつも皆さんが支援をしてくれているというふうに感じてますし、もう本当に限りない支援をしてくれているというふうに思っております。で、こういったアウェーの試合でも遠いんですけれども、何名かの皆さんの声を聞くことができて、それが後押しになってますので、本当に力になってくれてありがとうございます。
はい、おめでとうございました。また次のゲームも頑張ってください。ありがとうございます。
Lisa, congratulations and best wishes for the next game.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。
So Nika Williams, who spent the majority of his professional career in Japan since graduating from Pacific in 2011, played for Takamatsu Five Arrows back in the 2011-12 season, went to France for a season, or tried for the start of a season anyway, ended up back in Gunma Crane Thunders, then 2012-13 Saitama Broncos, went to Tunisia, but for the most part has been in Japan. He's been with Shimane since 2020 rather, and he's been a big part of their success. So here's a look back at the highlights, and it just needed full commitment really, and perhaps a few breaks for Shimane today. I think he did get an assist on that play. Full commitment, full defense for the full 24 seconds on the shot clock. Even though they gave away some offensive rebounds and second chances, it was better today. And again, as the coach said, they were a little bit fortunate with BREX also missing some shots. They were only able to pull away right at the end. But Perrin Buford, PR, coming out and getting a triple-double. Tsuyama, usually good for 1 or 2 threes a game. Hiyajima, just 2 of 7 from the floor inside the arc, and 1 of 4 from deep, so 3 of 11. So didn't really have a great game today. I think one of the keys was the fact that they never really allowed BREX to build any type of substantial lead. They were able to get up by 4 points. That was their biggest lead. It came in the second half, but they didn't have to mount this huge comeback. They kept their noses in front, even though it wasn't pretty at times. And after taking on a very combative DJ Newbill in the first half, Perrin Buford showed his quality in the second half. Seiya Ando has had better games, but the shots that he made came at key times. He was only 4 of 23 from the floor, 11 points, 8 rebounds, no assists. DJ Newbill there scoring. He's got 17 points in this game. And again, Hiyajima with the 10 points. That was 3 of them. Grant Jarrett never really made a huge impact on this game. He was just 3 of 10 from the floor. That was a long two. And Buford, you knew when he made that shot, it was going to be PR's day. One of the 2 3-pointers made by Ando. And then Endo went back to back a couple of times as well. Here's Sei Ando coming up with a turnover. Hands it off. They share the basketball. One of the assists. And then Buford, another steal and dunk this time. So that's how it finishes. And you can look at Perrin Buford bending over. He worked his you-know-what off, as did Williams. Those two guys, solid effort. So the 3-point shooting, 3 more makes for Shimane. They had a better percentage as well. Free throw line, they ended up with taking more free throws and making more, 3 more. 2 more makes inside the arc. And Shimane with, 24 points in the paint for BREX. 32 for Shimane. 14 second chance points for Shimane. 15 for UTSUNOMIYA BREX. 13 points from the bench for BREX. And just 3 for Shimane, who rely, I guess, more heavily on, but the rebounding numbers were significant today. 41 rebounds for the home team, 48 for Shimane, 28 of those on the offensive glass. And 6 of those coming from Williams. So 17 points for Newbill, 20 for Buford, 19 for K, 12 for Williams. Buford finished with 11 rebounds, 9 for Williams, 8 for Sei Ando. Jarrett had 8 boards, Takeuchi 7, and Fotu 6 for BREX. And Hijima's 5 assists led the way for BREX, 3 for Newbill, 2 for Ikaruga, and a game-high 11 assists for Mr. Triple-Double, Perrin Buford, and then 1 assist apiece for K and Tsuyama. It's hard to believe that nobody had more than 1 assist other than Buford, but that just shows how important he is to the distribution. Tsuyama had an assist. Shirohama also had an assist. And these are the games that are coming up. So Shimane will be at home against Osaka Avesa, that bottom left matchup there. That'll be on December 30th. And UTSUNOMIYA BREX will hit the road and face Shinshu Brave Warriors for a December 30th encounter. That'll be December 29th. Whereas Shimane's game will be on December 30th. And just as the music says, wish you a Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching, everybody. The B-League, SUSANOO Magic getting the win today at UTSUNOMIYA BREX.